Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Small Talk. A quick update on the stock market and Trump tariff. First thing first, let's talk about Trump tariffs. Trump has announced that he's going to impose 30% tariff on Canada. All the imports goods, consumer goods that are being imported to US, he's going to impose 30% tariff on that. He also announced that he's going to impose 50% tariff on Brazil, which Brazilian president was not happy about, and he said the U.S. is in deficit um, in all the imports from Brazil, whereas the president said that Trump is losing his mind. U.S. is not in deficit. Um, all the import goods being imported into the U.S. Rather, U.S. is actually in profit in importing goods from Brazil. And if you fact check it, it is true. I don't remember the exact percentage how much U.S. is in profit because I looked it up a couple of days ago and I wasn't able to make this video. So I'm just using my memory to record this video. So Brazil, if Trump imposes 50% tariff on Brazil, it is going to increase the prices of the coffee, because all the coffee that is being consumed in the US, almost about 25% of that is being imported from Brazil alone. So if Trump imposes 50% tariff, all the high-end coffee are going to be even more expensive than they already are. US can import coffee from other countries, for example, from Peru or Vietnam, etc. But the amount of coffee that they're importing from Brazil and at the price that they're getting it from, it's not possible to get it from other countries. So stay tuned to have your morning coffee being more expensive than it already is because of Trump tariffs on Brazil. The next thing he announced is that he's going to impose 30% tariff on Mexico and Canada. Sorry, Mexico and EU. And he Baston said that UK was smart, that they closed an early deal at a very good price at the early stage of Trump, and now the rest of the EU is going to get hit with the 30% tariff on all the imports coming to the US. At the same time, he said that he's going to import 30% tariff on Mexico as well. In a letter, he wrote that. And he said that Mexico has been helping him to secure his borders, but whatever Mexico has done is not enough. And it's time for them to pay more tariff on their imports. So in response to that, Brazil said that they're going to impose a retaliatory tariff on the U.S. on all the imports that they are importing from the U.S. And Mexico is willing to have a talk with Donald Trump on negotiating the tariff deal. Earlier, the tariffs, there were no tariffs on Mexico because of the Mexico-Canada-U.S. deal. But now Trump says that he is going to impose tariff because whatever Mexico has done is just not sufficient in order for him to waive the tariff in this tariff war. So that's that. There are going to be lots of problems with this tariff being imposed on multiple countries. He's being more aggressive and he's willing to have this war keep going on until he gets what he wants. The next thing I want to talk about is the stock market. Tesla, Uber, BYDF, Waymo, etc. Tesla has announced that it is going to sell their Model Y in India, and actually they're going to open like a showroom in India where they're going to showcase their Model Y, and they're going to sell their Model Y in India. This initiative has been taken to kind of test the market and see how much demand of Tesla cars is in India, and the cars are going to be supplied from their Shanghai Gigafactory to India, which will save the company money to start a new production facility in India. Because if you were to build a new production facility in India, then of course it's very costly. Plus, they don't know what the demand is going to be of Tesla Model Y in India. So for now, they're going to open their dealer shops. And they're going to have their Model Y showcase there and ready to sell. And after looking at, because it's a very large population and some people are very filthy rich and they can afford to buy Tesla, and then depending on how the demand goes, maybe down the road they might decide to open a facility in India, but right now I think they've just decided to send all their cars from their Hong Kong Shanghai Gigafactory to India. So next thing that they have announced is that he is going to have his extended version of Robotaxis. Before they had a fenced area where they tested the Robotaxi, and now next week, Monday, they're going to, sorry, this weekend, they were actually supposed to test their extended version of Robotaxi. Kathy Wood is very optimistic on Tesla, and he says a Robotaxi alone is going to add $2 trillion into company's market cap. I just recently read the BYDF. I was holding that stock for 3 years and didn't move. The second I sold it, it jumped 300% or 400% rather, and I missed on that big run on that Tesla, on that BYD. But I'm happy for those who owned it. BYD has been making some progress. Their car recently were able to park itself without anybody's intervention, which some analysts are of the opinion that that's a death warrant to Tesla. The Waymo is BYD is way ahead of Tesla's Robotaxi. Tesla may be a little behind than all these companies, but the technology that Tesla uses, instead of using camera, they use instead of using LiDAR, they use camera, and that's more cost effective, and that's a better technology in order for Tesla to navigate in their Robotaxi and FSD automobiles. Eventually, once everything is up and running at its full capacity, no one can catch up to Tesla. All the analysts, including Kathy Wood, she's still there to defend Tesla. Dan Ives is still there to defend Tesla, and they are all of the opinion that Tesla is the biggest AI company compared to all the other AI companies. All the other AI companies are 10 years behind Tesla. Tesla is not just a car company. Also, Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, there are lots of controversial theories coming up about his personal affairs with his women and all that stuff, but I'll make a separate video on that. That's another topic for this video. He is also adding his AI, Grok AI into the cars this coming week. They're going to be available in their cars coming Monday. They always were planning on having Grok AI incorporated into their Tesla vehicles, but no date or timeline was given before. But now he has announced the timeline last week, which coming this week, I think Tesla is going to see how well the technology works, and depending on that, I think Tesla is going to have a little boost in the price. Next thing I want to talk about is Uber. Uber is obviously, as I mentioned, they're trying to have at least 100,000 a fleet of automobile with their AI FSD, so there's no driver needed, and they have been requesting the founder of Uber to incorporate the FSDs into their fleets so they can eliminate the cost that they're paying to the Uber drivers. Also, with all the tips, taxes going away, I think Uber is going to save so much money. Their revenue is going to grow so much in 2026, which is going to put them way ahead. Lots of the analysts have raised their price target on Uber up to $120. So the Uber average price target is from $85 to $220. But some of the analysts are of the opinion that Uber can grow about 30 to 40% from this point onward if their FSD or a Robotaxi fleet is added to their vehicles. So that's the update that I wanted to share with you. We all know that Apple is a little behind in AI. They have not been focusing on AI. They've been just coming up with the new phone with one extra cameras pretty much, and market analysts are not very pleased with them. Even though since Tim Cook has taken over the company has, the stock has grown about 1,400%, but they said it was up and running and it was fine. It might still have some potential to grow, but we all have to imagine that they have not announced anything regarding AI, and this is the time where every company is trying to incorporate AI into their business model one way or the other. And this is, even now it's not too late, though they're behind, but they can just be chop and add this new business AI into their business models one way or the other, and announce something big so the Apple's shareholders can have some satisfaction and they can go ahead and feel confident, keep investing in Apple. Next thing I want to talk about is Palantir and NVIDIA. I was listening to Dan Ives and he said NVIDIA is going to be, somebody asked him a question like, what is the big number that you're looking for in NVIDIA? And he said if there's a 2 in front of him. So I think NVIDIA is $160 or $165 as I speak right now. So he's hoping to go to have this up $200 by the end of this year, which is amazing. That's another 20-25% upside for NVIDIA in the short term and the long term. Of course, that's going to be the largest market cap in the AI world, because just like Tesla, NVIDIA is way ahead in their AI chip manufacturing. No other AI chip can beat the quality and the cost of NVIDIA's Blackwell chip. It may be a little bit costly, but the quality that they're receiving and amount of usage they're going to have out of this NVIDIA chip, it's going to be obviously overweigh all the other AI companies. Palantir is also, there's a lot of optimism around Palantir. I remember when they first IPO'd, it was at $9.99 and I missed it and the stock went to $12 and I was waiting for it to drop so I can buy it, and it went to $20. That's like 3 years ago. And then I asked my brother to buy Palantir, which he did at $17, I believe, or $15, and it dropped. But then after Fed started raising their rates, the whole market crashed, because during Joe Biden's term, market was just down. It was just dead. So was Palantir. It went all the way to I think $3 or $4, and then my brother would always call me and he said, I'm just losing so much money on this. And I said, don't sell it, it will recover. So once the stock went up to $17, he made $2 per share and he sold it. And Palantir has been running since then. Can you imagine if you had bought 3 years ago this stock at $9.99? You were already 1,500% on your money right now, or actually 1,700% growth that you've had on your Palantir investment. So the stock market analysts are very optimistic, and they're saying that Palantir is going to be another one of the largest AI company, because NVIDIA and Palantir have different business model. Palantir is obviously a platform for service, whereas NVIDIA is more on the manufacturing side of the AI. So they both have different business models, and they're both at the very ahead of their all the other competitors as far as their business model are concerned. So Dan Ives particularly wrote a letter to his shareholders, and he was very optimistic. And this letter that he wrote, he said Palantir stock is going to grow much higher from this point onward. And I think he gave a number which I don't remember on the top of my head. So if you have not invested into Palantir and NVIDIA, maybe it's time that you buy now. Not a personalized financial advice, or maybe you can wait for a dip, because there always something comes up and the stock could dip a little bit, and maybe that's the time to buy. So even if you buy now at $160, $165, for example, NVIDIA, and it goes to 200, you still make $40 per share, which isn't a bad investment towards, for the rest of the 6 or 5 months rather. Same thing with Palantir. If you made an investment now and it doubles from this point onward, or even if you make $40, $50 per share, I think that would be a great investment, because if you invest into S&P 500 on an average, it will grow about like 12 to 17% for the whole year. And that's obviously on an average. It could be less or more depending on what year it is and how the policies are working. I also heard the rumor that Jerome Powell may be resigning. I just have to verify that news. I have not been able to read and figure out if this is just a rumor or if it's a real news. I know Trump yesterday reiterated that he has no plan of firing Trump. Last week, he was saying he is going to fire Trump and he is going to replace him with someone who will cut the rates immediately. It's like he's been on this roller coaster bandwagon. Sometimes he says one thing, the next day something else comes out of his mouth. So it's kind of hard to predict what is he planning to do. But the latest rumor that I've heard today, this afternoon, is that Jerome Powell may be resigning, and some of the Trump's follower and his policy, you know, uh, like his policy lovers have been saying that it's the right decision for Jerome Powell to do. Sorry, I went blank for a second. For Jerome Powell to do and to resign, because then somebody else could come and they could cut the rates as Donald Trump demands them to do so. I personally am on the opinion that Jerome Powell may be a little behind. He is 2 to 4 cuts behind than he should have been. But again, as I said in my previous videos, I don't blame him because he doesn't want to lose his credibility. So what's going to happen next week? Let's make a prediction. Let's see how true that is. I made a video last week, and I said in my video when Bitcoin was $113,000 that the next stop for Bitcoin is going to be $118,000, and next morning Bitcoin went exactly there, $118,000. But now I think it's a little more extended, and I don't think market is going to let it go this high so quickly. I think most of the people are going to shed or sell some of their Bitcoin to lock in some profits. So the price is going to drop a little bit again, but then it's going to go on a next run. And my predictions towards the end of the year is anywhere between $180,000 to $250,000 towards the end of this year. It could even go to $285,000, but on the conservative side, anywhere between 180 to 250 is what I'm predicting. And some of the analysts who really understand the Bitcoin chart, they are of the opinion that the next stop it is going to be towards the end of the year, about $280,000, and by 2030, $1 million to 1.5 or even $2 million. We'll see which direction Bitcoin goes. But I think after 118K mark, I think investors are not going to let it go this high so quickly. They're going to pull it back a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. So next week, I think Bitcoin is going to start dropping a little bit, maybe not too much, because people will lock in some profits since it has ran so much within last few days that people are getting a little nervous and they just don't want to take any more risk and lose all the gains that they've made. Tesla, if they keep depending on how their extended Robotaxi event goes tomorrow. If it's a success, I think Tesla stock is going to see another boost next week. Also, their Grok AI, depending on how well that functions within Tesla Model Ys, I think it's going to give Tesla another boost. Plus, we have earnings season coming up very shortly, and they also have announced their investors meeting or board meeting, but it's not scheduled until September, which is kind of delayed for the state of Texas where Tesla company is incorporated. Legally they're supposed to have their meeting every 13 months, and they're already 3 or 4 months behind. But at least it gives investors some peace of mind that they've made an announcement of the date when to expect the board members meeting, and everybody is getting ready because people had lots of questions for Tesla's CEO Elon Musk, especially with him announcing his own political party. They just wanted to know how serious he's going to take his Tesla business and his XAI, because they want to see him as a Tesla CEO, not as a political leader. So next week I think is going to be very iffy. Everything is dependent on how things go this weekend and next week, because Monday Grok AI is going to be used into the Tesla vehicles. So I think once all that is sorted through, then we'll get a clear direction which direction Tesla is going to move. Uber is going to be on the run though. I think the next price target for Uber, in my opinion, next week it will definitely hit $100, unless some bad news comes up and then it pulls back a little bit and people would probably take some profit. All the stock exchange analysts are very optimistic about Uber's business model and their balance sheet, because their balance sheet looks pretty strong, and last quarter they were in profit. So everybody is very hopeful and they're working very hard to make their company a success. Nvidia and Palantir, I've already told you, they're going to keep going, small pullbacks, because people will take profit. There are lots of day traders, swing trader, people, once the stock runs so much, people like to take in some profit and they lock it in. So next week is going to be a little mixed about all these big companies, but then I think once all the dust settles, then we'll get a clear direction, which direction the stocks are going to go. And then once this tariff drama is over, that's going to be even more positive catalyst for the stock market. Once more deals are closed, I guess. So we're still waiting for Trump to close on all the deals. Hopefully this weekend he still has tomorrow to come up with some of the deals and lock them, and then hopefully that will give some boost to the stock market on Monday. Past 2 days, stock market has been red because of the Trump's tariff war and some of the bad news that we've been hearing about some of the companies. So that's my perspective for the stock market. And I hope this video helped. I just wanted to make a quick video, share all the news with you, what's going on in the economy and in the financial world, so you can make your choices and decisions accordingly. Give my video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Until next one, take care and go make some money.